got some more goodies for the BMW. My buddy Joe came by, and for 300 bucks, I got a computer for my future engine swap with sequential firing. That's going to be nice. And then I got some safety harnesses, finally, and something in the box. So let's see what this is. But I got myself a harness bar, which is going to be dope. I'm going to try and install this tonight. Hopefully it's easy. It's made for an E36, so we'll see. Got it from Redline 360 for 180 bucks after shipping. So hopefully it'll bolt right up. Alright, so what I've got right now is a regular seat belt and a lap belt, which my girlfriend absolutely hates because she says she doesn't feel safe at all. That combined with no airbags and no interior scares her for some reason. Part of it might be my driving. So it just rained, and when I was climbing in the back of my car, I noticed a puddle. So I don't have time to fix this right now, so I'm just going to do a short-term fix. Problem solved. So I'm guessing it mounts here, here. If it does mount here, I'm screwed because the other side is gone, since that's just a lap belt. So I'm going to have to buy something, and I can't do it tonight. So I'm going to look this up, and we'll be right back. So I just did some research, and it turns out I do need that bracket. So without that, I'm kind of screwed. I can't mount the other half of my bar, and it's going to be completely useless. And I don't want to tear out my old seat belts because I won't be able to drive my car until I get that bracket. So I'm going to stop working today, but there's a junkyard called Pick Your Part in Orlando, and it says seatbelt components are about 10 bucks, and the cheapest I could even find it on eBay for was 14, and that's without the mounting bolts. So I think I'm going to run there either Saturday or Sunday and pick up the brackets, and then I can get this bad boy installed. So hopefully it'll be done by the end of the weekend. Well, I found the car I'm going to scrap. It's an old BMW 323. I brought the wrong tools, but I should have enough to get this fucker out of here, so we'll see in a minute. That's the bracket I'm going to take. Alright, so I got the parts I need, and it only cost me $4, which is great, because the cheapest I found it on eBay for was $14, and it would have taken God knows how long to get here. So I got my bracket adjustable, all my mounting screws. I grabbed a couple extra because they were super cheap, pennies, and time to put this bad boy in. So the first thing I got to do is install my new bracket assembly here. Motherfucker. This thing's spring-loaded and it's kind of annoying. So it looks like I may need to add a spacer. I think. Not really sure yet. Both sides are different also, which doesn't help. Apparently, the car I pulled from is an older model, and it's not exactly the same rail. But we can innovate. Let's rig something up. So I've tried out a couple different combinations of things, and I think for this old design, I'm going to have to not use any spacers, because this pretty much replaces this in the assembly. They're about the same thickness, and I don't think there's any way of getting around that. This already has a built-in spacer there. So, and this fits just about perfectly in that. And then about 3 or 4 threads engage after when it's screwed all the way in, because it's recessed. So I think the safest thing to do, if I add any spacers, I've only got 1 or 2 threads engaging, and that definitely is not safe. So I'm going to leave all the spacers out, and there'll still be a little bit of gap there, but not quite as big as I imagined at the beginning, and screw it in that way. So I've come to pretty much the same conclusion about this side. It's already got a gap, And none of the washers that they provide will even slide over this sleeve to make it a tight fit. So, I mean, I'm just going to leave it as is and bolt it straight in. Again, this part would be just replacing the loop that had the seatbelt harness in it, the original stock one. So we'll screw it in and see how it fits. All right, so snugged everything down and looks pretty good. All right, so let's get to installing the bottom bars. Again, everything's snug. Don't tighten anything down all the way yet. And we'll see how it looks. All right, so I've decided I'm going to install the bottom part first because I have a racing battery, and the bolt that I have to use is also what he used for the ground to the frame. So I'm going to use some spacers and figure all my shit out and attach the bottom part first. Shit. So I'm having some issues that no one else will have because their battery isn't mounted inside their car, but this piece won't mount behind this piece because this is running into it. So I'm going to use some big ass pliers and try and bend shit out of the way and see if I can get it to fit. When I said big ass pliers, I meant vice grips. That's much better. Now it's not hitting right here anymore. As you can see, this is the reason I'm not using any spacers. There's barely enough threads to engage as it is. So if I put any spacers in there, I'll have like maybe half a thread engaging, and we don't want that for a harness bar that's gonna save my life one day. So no spacers. Now I understand why you need spacers. This will not move close enough because it's hitting the wall on the other side. So I need a longer bolt and a spacer. Fuck. This bolt was not long enough to install my harness bar. The other side has a stock seat belt, so I'm going to see what that one's like, but this is the bolt I picked up to replace it. I may have to use a spacer, but it's going to be much better, and I should be able to fit the bar on there, a spacer, and screw it into the frame. So let's see if it works. Alright, so that took me 2 minutes instead of the hour and a half that I spent unsuccessfully last night trying to do this. So I did the frame, spacer, then the rod, and then the nut. When I actually put another spacer there, it couldn't bend out quite as far because the spacer has a wider radius, outer radius than the nut does. So it actually fit better like this, but I could put another spacer on there, but then, you know, I'm shortening the threads that are engaging and I don't really need to. So that's not going to pull through or anything like that. It's actually stronger that way, so I'm just going to leave it. Then on the back here, I've got my nut, my washer, the bar, spacer, and then my rod, spacer, and another nut. And that seems to be a really solid setup. Goes in perfectly. It's rock solid once I tighten everything down. And I'm going to do the other side and then cinch everything down and see how it is. Spacer on there to space it away from the frame. And perfect threads. Awesome. Ooh, it's hot. So I just tightened everything down and it is rock solid. I'm shaking the whole car with this thing. Yeah, that seems pretty good to me. Now I'm gonna lock these nuts down. Tightened all these nylon locking washers, and I mean, I can shake the whole car and this thing doesn't budge. Time to install the seat belts. So these are the belts my buddy gave me, complete with submarine straps and all. Look pretty good shape. I think I'm gonna put the nice black ones on my side. These ones are a lot more faded. I was looking up new pads and they're 30 bucks and these are fine besides being faded, so I don't think I'm gonna install new ones right now. And it's got the nice cam lock system. Looks good to go. All right, start the install of these bad boys. So I ran into another problem you guys most definitely won't have, and that is, this is a Torx bit, and that's where I've got to unscrew. So this turned out to be a bitch. I had to halfway remove the seat, take this nut off, install the straps, and put them in there, but I got the lap belts in, mounted on the sides. Luckily, I found some bolts and washers and a nut that fit perfectly. So now time to do the shoulder straps. All right guys, so now I'm going to show you how to install the harness straps. So here's your little bracket, not a bracket, but locking strap locker. So you want to come through, this is going to sit up here like this, so you want the arc to be pointed down. So you come up through the bottom, go over, down through the other side, pull through some slack. Now you want to go underneath the bar, up through the bracket, so it looks like this. And then down through the other side. And then loop around and go back in to lock it. And you also want to make sure it's pulled tight, just like mine is not really, but it's enough to get the idea. And then stitching down on the bar there. Alright, so the straps are all hooked up, installed, locked. I'm going to zip tie these up later, make it look better. But after all that hard work, it's finally starting to show. It's so beautiful. Oh, I'm so happy right now. Looks so good. Alright, so I just finished. They're all hooked up. And it's so beautiful. Oh, so damn beautiful. He already had a lap belt installed and it was all done correctly. So I just left it. I don't mind the red at all. I've got black ones though if anything happens. It's got the cam, so all good with me. It's red because it's the hot seat for whoever rides with me. Whoever's crazy enough to ride with me. Oh, all right. Almost track ready. All I need is a fire extinguisher. And I'm gonna mount it right here. So that should be fun. Put that in a different video. All right, take it easy guys. Hope you liked my video. And I'll probably have some more how-tos in the future. All right, see ya.